Hello everyone, welcome back once again to Bedmon Incorporated on the Chaosville server. So, we've got a bunch of things to get done today. First we're going to be setting up an assembly table around here, which is a buildcraft manufacturing tool, so that we can make a pipe gate that will control the electrical engine here, because we can't run the electrical engine here on the power supply that we have constantly, because it just drains all of the power out of everything. Then we're going over to the bees, where I've made some very interesting breakthroughs, some of which you will probably already know through Twitter, but nonetheless. And if we happen to have time, we'll be heading over to the supply depot to get work on some railcraft stuff. So with that in mind, hop over to my perspective. So, last time that we were around, I set up the molecular assembly table, molecular assembly chamber, sorry. And I've since added a bunch of different recipes to it, because I made this one, which lets me make blank patterns. So let's take a look at them, shall we? I've got a bunch of fairly vanilla stuff, plus concrete, of course. I've got different components that go into applied energy sticks, including the quartz cutting knife, which is used to make the processors. I've got a bunch of the stuff, so I've got the buses and the interface, which is why there's a few of them around here. Also got every component for the actual molecular assembly chamber itself, so this is now a rep-wrap machine, meaning it can make itself. Few industrial craft stuff, and that's all I've got just yet, because there's only the one page of recipes, and they're a little bit on the expensive side with free glowstone. But from that, I've shifted things around a bit. I've got an interface hooked up to the rolling machine, which is to make a rebar. It feeds it free iron, which all gets neatly assembled in like the auto-crafting table. Down here, I have an extractor, a compressor, and a macerator, each with their own import bus and their own interface, and those all make different things. So this one is going for rubber, that's the extractor. This one is going for quartz crystals, because you can compress quartz dust into a crystal. You can also macerate quartz crystals into the dust, so over here I've got that again. I also have tin, because I had a lot of tin. I didn't have much of a reason not to make that. And down here is Greg's fixative, basically the plate bending machine, because I had to make that to do a few things. And just behind it we can see all of the wires leading into it, and we can also see I've shifted around the electrical engine. The rolling machine is now connected to the network using an import bus, so where any rebar it does make gets fed into the system. But we don't have a control for this electrical engine, and as I explained in the intro, this eats up a lot of power. So we need to make an assembly table and one, at least, laser. Because the assembly table doesn't use power directly, and I apologize for the frame today, my Java is acting up. The assembly table doesn't use power directly, it uses it via the laser, and you can make multiple lasers to actually improve it. And ooh, just while I'm in here, this is set to crafting mode, so this is all of the things that this terminal can presently make. Quite an impressive selection, especially when you consider that it can go through them and actually manage to make them all in sequence if need be. So it can, just as an example, it can take the interface, which requires a conversion matrix, requires cable, and it will make conversion matrices and cable as needed. It's fantastic, I love it. Let's switch that to both, and let's take a look at the recipe for the assembly table. Okay, so there it is, the weird black thing, which requires a diamond gear, a diamond, some redstone, and 6 obsidian. Ah yes, that lovely, lovely sibilance. Okay, so let's get some planks. Fortunately, I have a few here, just because I was having to make a few things to actually set stuff up. I've done that completely wrong. I've been too busy getting my head into this stuff, but oh well. Let's see, there we go. Nope, not those. That's what we want. And we actually have some sticks already. We also have plenty of cobble. I'd like to make a level emitter to control the igneous extruder up top there. to make sure that it only creates as much cobble as we need within a threshold, so that things just don't get full up, because we've got nearly 900 cobblestone here, because I just keep leaving it off. Let's see, then we need iron. If we're running a little low on, I might have to convert some more. Okay, and that makes us an iron gear. Doop, 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 doop. Now, is it an iron? Is it a gold or a diamond? It's a diamond. It's a lot of diamonds in this. I presume they're used for refraction or something. I don't know. I brought over a ton of gold from the supply depot, so fortunately that isn't a problem. And I also went digging in the mining world, the public mining world that we have, for some more diamonds. So these came at no expense to my medium stone. So that gets me a diamond gear. Okay, and now we need some obsidian, which just happens to be right there for us, handy. And some redstone. Just a little bit of redstone, which is the main reason that I went to the mining world. So, one assembly table. Now we also need some lasers. So, let's take a look at those. Doop doop doop. Laser. Okay, mining laser, not what we're after. Laser. 5 redstone, 2 diamonds, and 2 obsidian. Fairly straightforward. You'd expect it to require some kind of glass, but apparently not. So there's the obsidian. Oh, nope, that's the dark iron. It looks so similar. Doop 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 doop. I don't generally think there are that many downsides to the default texture pack. The main benefit is that when I'm trying to tell you guys something, you actually know what the hell I'm talking about, because we have the default texture pack. So you never have some worry about what the hell is that thing that he's looking at. It doesn't look like anything I've ever seen. So yeah, you just boot it up in it there. Okay, so we'll make a couple of these, because we feed them with power from the engines, and we have a couple of engines around. We don't have one of the we don't have one of the electrical engines. So we stick redstone in here. That gets us a redstone chipset. And if we stick a redstone chipset in, it gets us a pipe gate. Just a basic gate. I don't know if you can upgrade them off the top of my head, but I do know that you can use them to emit redstone signals based on certain qualities of the things that they are connected to, which is what we are more interested in. So let's just plonk that down there. I can stick this over. They're not going to be staying here, but just sticking them down. Okay, I'll give you some fuel. And now we need a piece of redstone so that we can actually get our chipset and whatnot. Now these usually feed into nearby chests, but not a huge issue for us. We just need the one gate at the moment. And there we go, that's the redstone chipset. Target it and begin firing. Okay, so there we go. The laser color is the same as with engines, so it goes gradually up as it is more efficient. And I don't know how much that's actually... Ah, there we go. Okay, so that's being a bit slow, so let's give it a hand with this electrical engine. Doop. Where are you? There you are. Get within me. Right. And lever button, there we go. Okay. Just showing you can in fact power these with Oop, did I hit that? No. There. Strange likeness. Okay, so you can actually power these with more than one, and it is going up faster for it. But you can make some pretty cool stuff with this. We're just making a very basic gate today, but we can then upgrade it to things like an AND gate, a gold or an OR gate. We can also make autarkic gates by mixing them in with ender pearls, and those have basically built-in engines in them. So instead of having a redstone engine and a wooden pipe, we can have a wooden pipe and an autarkic gate, and it pulls out very quickly and by itself. So you can make things very compact that way, which is going to be very handy should we want to prank someone with our bees, for example. Because that's a pretty cool and handy thing, and I've been wanting to do that for a while now, but we just haven't had really the capacity by virtue of the fact that most of our bees set things on fire. It's like we have the excited bees would be absolutely fantastic for like a prank, because they would cause so much general mayhem. Except for the slight problem that a lot of people have flammable houses on the server. So let me see. V-Disc lives in a treehouse. Gar's main buildings are made of wool or are a giant tree. Dave's house is made of wood for a significant portion of it. The roofs certainly are. Nifty is probably the only person we could possibly like prank using the excited bees. He lives in a volcano. I mean, we could maybe prank Sark, but he doesn't really put up videos about Chaosville, so. And I could prank one of the girls, but back to the same problem. Most of them either don't have a house as yet, or or their houses are flammable. So it wouldn't work out too well. I suppose I could prank Kai, but I don't know. So that's the slight problem of using the excited bees for a prank. Okay, so we're nearly halfway here. Tell you what, I will cut here, and I will come back when this is finished. There's probably going to be a few cuts throughout this episode, because we're going to be jumping long distances. So, back in a moment. And welcome back. So it's been a little bit of time, and out pops our redstone chipset. Now the engines are going to keep pumping away regardless, so we'll just stick this back in and tell it to make us a gate. There goes the lasers. And soon enough, again, it'll pop out. If it doesn't have a chest, it just shoots them out. So it's a bit weird that way as far as auto crafters go. But in a bit, a gate will pop out, and I shall be back with you then, as this takes a dang long time. Catch you in a bit. And welcome back. So, rearranged a few things in the middle of things, just because that electrical engine was overheating. But we are nearly there. Just a couple more pixels, and we should have our gate. We can turn this off. Whoop, there it is. Jump. Okay, so that is our gate. So if we grab the electrical engine before it blows something up, and put our conductive wooden pipe here, which is pointing the wrong way, but we can resolve that in a moment, because I just need it to be able to point out by this. And we can just whack this, basically. Okay, and if we apply our gate, that's what it looks like. Let's right click that. So we got a bunch of different options on the left hand side and a reaction on the right hand side. It's currently just if this then that, basically. Redstone signal on, redstone signal off, inventory, and there's a few things that are based on the machine that it is attached to. So storing energy is one thing, and has work, meaning does this rolling machine have the materials it needs to make something that it's keyed for, in which case we output a redstone signal, and that triggers our electrical engine. So now, the electrical engine will only begin firing as long as the rolling machine is actually ready to make something. So this electrical engine does not have to stay on. It will invariably manage to that is very strange. Why isn't that getting power now? Let's take a look up here. Or try to, at the very least. This is not the easiest place to fly around. Are you not aware? What's up? Oh, no, that's the interface. We're gonna... That is strange. It's not getting any power for... well, we can fix that at the very least. We just need to grab some... Oh, no, we actually shouldn't need to get another copper cable. Pick you up. Pick you up as well. Oop. Yeah, the lag for some reason... Well, it's not so much lag on the server's end of things today, but it's for some reason my graphics is kind of dying. Not sure why. This is going to become my mantra, but it'll be fixed when Elemental is running. But first we need to figure out what is going on here, don't we? If I put down this electrical engine, is it going to do what I want and aim at the sky? No. Bother. Right, so that means I need to put the wooden pipe on first. Fairly easy to do. Just take advantage of the way things can be shift-clicked alongside each other. There. Up it goes. Pick that up. Put that down. And now we're in a bit of a spot of bother, which is that I can't get this to go the right way. Because the gate that we have can only detect things from the machine it's right next to. So I need to do a bit of wrangling. But I believe I can manage that. Which we're going to need some more conductive pipes. Or, well, just pipes, basically. So if I get a wooden pipe, and I make it... I don't know if I have to make this a conductive, but let's give it a shot and take a look. So let's plonk that there. Stick our gate on the side of it. This isn't an autarkic gate, so it can't pull things out. Full energy... No energy... There we are, has work. That's what we want, release a redstone signal when that's going. And if we then get rid of that, grab this again, and this, being very careful not to hit the solar panel in the background there. Let's see, gold conductive, and where is the electrical engine going to point if I stick it there? Exactly the wrong direction. Of course. But not a problem, I can fix that later. Actually, I think I might have a wrench in here. WR. Nope, don't have that kind of wrench. But we can make it not that big an issue. So, stick, doop, 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 doop. And I need a cobblestone gear. Doop, 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 doop. And I need some iron. Doop, doop, doop. I'm pretty sure I've got one of these lying around somewhere, but I don't quite recall where. And we're going to need at least one more piece of gold conductive pipe. So let's just grab that. Doop. So we got that. Right. Now, gold conductive here. And... ooh, hang on, I've got a better idea. And let's have that there. And if we put our engine here, and now if I can get the redstone signal from that down to here, we can power the electrical engine. So let's grab some of the red alloy wire that I have lying around. And some blocks. Let's go with some marble, because that's a nice byline anyway. So, let's see if I can figure this out. Right, so that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. And I need a block on top of this. Well, close, but not quite. When you play with lag, you play with Satan. Okay, so yep, that's getting a signal. We bring that down here. And the electrical engine begins pumping. Perfect. So that's going to begin pumping, and it's going to stay pumping until this can no longer make more rebar. Which means that, assuming this isn't too taxing on the power supply that we presently have, which is a bit dwindling, we might work on the power plant at a fairly upcoming point, this system can now make concrete dusk till dawn, which is fantastic. Fantastic. Fantastic across all barriers and whatnot. So now, in what's probably becoming a rather long episode, we're going to hop over to the bees near the Center Supply Depot, and we're going to talk about what I can do with them next. So, once again, in a very cut-laden episode, catch you in a moment. Okay, so welcome to the mildly on fire bee preservation. It's just by Recenter Supply Depot. It'll be moving to a more dedicated location fairly soon, I think. So updates so far is that I've got 2 excited bees running around right at the moment, these 2. In here I have energetic bees, which is the next tier up from them. And then while I was managing to be able to breed those, I accidentally managed to get close enough to make an ecstatic as well, which is the top tier. And they also produce these static combs, which are an odd and mysterious thing, but they're actually not the main focus of why we're here today. So let me just grab these redstone combs, because we need all the redstone we need. These haven't been super refined yet, because that's our main subject. Now, the static combs produce the normal stuff that most combs do, that's like beeswax and honey drops and stuff. They also produce energy drops alongside the redstone, which are used to make I'm trying to remember what they're called. Honey cells, I think they're called. Basically, organic energy cells. They can hold 8,000 EU. And I'm not entirely sure why those exist, but they do. They do. Oh, right, you're not getting power because there's no sunlight. But the contents of the 2 apiaries in front of me now are the main thing for today. For this section of today, and what I'm sure is becoming a long video. There we go. Yep, because there we can see I have just magically been given regeneration, which is due to the successor of this bee, the Nobles. The Nobles are the first tier in the Imperials, and they mostly just produce dripping comb. But you can then breed those into Majestics, and if you combine Nobles and Majestics, you get these shiny things, the Imperials. And the Imperials produce dripping combs and royal jelly, as we see here. I have about 1/4 of a stack of it. But I turned it into some serum vials. And what you do with the royal jelly is you make a bunch of things. You can make alvearies, which is one main thing. You can make ambrosia, which is a very nice food item. And you make serum vials. Serum vials you use in this device. This is an isolator, which takes a bee and takes a bunch of empty serum vials. You get 2 varieties of royal jelly out of in them. And it goes through a bunch of power and then randomly determines one of the traits of that bee and sticks it into a vial. So far, I've gotten long lifespan, and I've gotten cave dwelling, which means I don't need an access to the sky. Which is handy for things like pulling pranks, for one thing, and also for our lightning bees, because it means I don't need to have an open space in the ceiling. What I'm trying to get now is Nocturnal, and maybe Fast Worker, but I kind of, the first thing you always do in like a strategy game is you maximize your productivity. So these guys have shortened life, which we want to replace with long. They're not Nocturnal, they're not Cave Dwelling, but they have Fast Worker, which means that they have a higher chance of actually producing something every time they're checked to produce something. And, oh boy, there's a lot of power. You need a gate over here now as well. But it's so helpful to have those gates, so we'll be glad we had them in a while. So what did that produce? It's not 100% chance to get an energy drop, but we did get free redstone from it, so yay! Organic redstone. Which, if you've been around for a while, or if you maybe remember a Carpenter Station episode on it, Organo Redstone Hypothesis. Right there, right there. And this is the gene pool. You stick junk bees in here, and they get converted to a liquid, which I have then been pumping out over here. And the reason there's an electric furnace here is because if you get a serum that you don't like, because again it's random, you stick it in a furnace and it just gets smelted out into just an empty vial. So that's kind of handy. So what I'll be doing here for the next while is I will be pumping whatever power I can into that sequencer to get the vials that I need. I will then be making a... what is it called? It's a very kind of weird name. Tor? Is that going to find it for me? No, because generator. Genetic machine. Let's just take a look at those. You make these with the genetic machines. The advanced one, I think, makes most of them. So let's see, there's the isolator, the replicator, which makes additional vials of the same kind that you have, the purifier, the inoculator applies them, the synthesizer, that's it. The synthesizer adds charges to your vials, and you go through several charges as you are inoculating a bee to have the traits that you want to give it. Now, problem with the synthesizer is that as it adds more charges, it decreases the quality. The quality is what determines whether a particular inoculation, let me get my words for me, shall we? My words from my big old mug of them. Right. The quality of a serum determines the successfulness of a particular inoculation charge. And it goes down very quickly. Like, I think it becomes horrible or awful quality at its worst. And at that point, you can also start getting bad things into your bees. So you can start making them into, like, having poison effects and such. To resolve that, you use the purifier, which increases the quality of your serum. And then you use the inoculator with bees and whatnot to give them that. Now, you can just inject queens, but it's probably best. I don't know if this should, but it's what I'll be doing anyway. Because once you've got the serum, it's not that big of a deal to keep purifying and adding charges. Probably best to do it with the princess and the drone that you're injecting them with, and then do it to the queen as well, because it doesn't always take. It's not a 100% chance thing that it will stick to the next generations. But once you've got it into the next generations, you can pretty much just keep looping them, and you've got super bees. So that will allow us to make as many energetics, as any ecstatics as we need, as many imperials as we need, as quickly producing bees as we need, and that's going to be fantastic for us, because it means our redstone production is going to go up. But sadly, I think we are more than a tad out of time, so we'll probably get to the Spidey Bone next episode. We might go back to the Night of the Living Dead build, because we haven't been there in a while, and I'd like to get a bit more work done there. And I shall see you all next time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and or a favourite. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe to be notified of future updates. You can also check out the website where most other content is uploaded. That's all for now, catch you later.